What is going on, everyone? For once, I don't have to say sorry for the late start because we've actually started early tonight. 9:03 instead of the usual 9:30 start. Just for anyone panicking, I know there's probably some people that didn't see me say that on YouTube or Twitter. Apologies. If you get to have to watch this late, this will be a rarity rather than the norm. I'll probably be mostly doing 9:30 still. But tonight it's just easier for me to do 9, so that's what I've done. I know some people said, can you do it even earlier? No, unfortunately, life gets in the way of doing that. But look, yeah, we're good. We're here. How are you all? Henning, what's up? Should have walk-on music to start your stream. Well, that's Candyland, right? That is the stream music. Elias, how's it going? Kyle, is Aubameyang a good option up front for my fantasy team? I just think he's too expensive. For someone that's not guaranteed to start. He started in the Europa League tonight, I think. And Lacazette started from the bench. That tells me, you know, they could quite easily go for another one-man striker formation in their next match. Probably going to be Lacazette. Almost certainly going to be Lacazette. So, yeah. Not Aubameyang, not for me. I just think he's too expensive. But... fair enough, he does do well off the bench. I mean, you can't say, you can't really argue against that. But I mean, how often will a player keep doing that? I'm not sure. First time you caught me live, thank you very much for tuning in. Can't pronounce my surname. Archontides. How about that? Tom, what is going on, my man? The king of the match of the day updates. I would say follow you on Twitter, but I can't remember your Twitter handle. TC something? Let's have a look. Oh, Utterly TC. Go and follow Tom on Twitter. Talk me out of Salah triple captain. I know I go into broken record alert whenever I get asked about triple captain in a single game. I just can't bring myself to do it. Look, I think he's going to get points. I think most. I mean, I don't think there's many people out there that don't think he's going to get points. Right? Even those that don't own him, they know he's going to get points. They're just hoping, obviously, that he doesn't go mad, and they can cover him with players like Hazard. And do you know what? They absolutely might be able to do that. But am I confident enough in the triple captain? I'm just not sure I am, even against Cardiff. To be honest, I'd almost rather save it for the Fulham game. I don't know. I'd have to check who's conceded the most, but I know obviously Cardiff conceded a lot of goals, but something tells me that Fulham have conceded more. Not that means necessarily that that will continue to happen. And obviously Fulham have got Carney back now, which might help them just play a bit better in general. If they got more of the ball or whatever, which you're not really expecting against Liverpool, I guess, but it could help them concede a few less. Yeah, Fulham have conceded. No, that's goal difference. Goals against. Yeah, Fulham have conceded 25. 25 in 9 games. That's nearly 3 goals a game. That is ridiculous. And Cardiff have only conceded 19. Jesus, Cardiff's only conceded 19. That's only 3 more than Man United. Jesus Christ. That's 2 more than Burnley. Anyway, basically, Fulham are rubbish. I think I'd possibly rather wait. My thought was his ownership is lower. If he smashes Cardiff, it will skyrocket for the Fulham match. Yeah, that's a fair point. But you've got to remember, or one thing to think about, is that even if he goes nuts against Cardiff, yes, his ownership will skyrocket because people will get really worried about him for Fulham. But no one's going to triple captain, but there's still going to be a lack of triple captains on him. So you triple captain him against Fulham is still a differential. Robert, how's it going? Thanks very much for that. It has been a while. How's it going? Yeah, don't get me wrong. Cardiff are rubbish too. I don't know. If I was going to use it on the 2, I'd use it on Fulham, I think. You took a big L last week. That's a loss for anyone that's not cool or down with the kids. How do you stop yourself from taking hits? Look, I'm pretty tempted to take a hit, not because I had a bad week, but more because I feel like I made a mistake with my transfers. I think sometimes the weeks where you have a bad week are obviously the hardest. for me, I try not to think about that red arrow too much. And you've just got to analyse your team, and did you have the right team, but they just didn't perform? And I think a lot of people were in that boat. Okay, I transferred out David Silva against Burnley. That was stupid. Trippier, who's been on great form, I got rid of for a hit. And obviously Trent didn't play. I think that's a little bit unlucky because most people were predicting him to get his place back. And obviously Liverpool got a clean sheet, so that kind of hurt even more. But otherwise, Doherty had a good match. Wolves have been playing really well. Maddison was good against Arsenal. Obviously, Vardy was a bit of a worry for me. Not a worry, but a little bit of a punt against Arsenal at least. Obviously, he's got better fixtures now. So I don't think the team was awful by any stretch. Obviously, Chelsea were playing Man United, so that was always going to be difficult enough. And obviously, they scored 2 goals, and Hazard and Alonso weren't involved, at least from an FPL point of view. So just look at your team for this week and just see how well you think you're going to fare. Chances are your team is not suddenly awful. Wolves players, for example, they got an okay fixture this week. Then there's 2 tough ones. So tide's starting to turn a little bit for them, but then they've got a couple of nice fixtures after that. Again, Chelsea's fixture is about to get better, but if you're lacking like Liverpool players, even Man City players in the coming weeks, then they're maybe the ones to start looking at how you're going to bring them in. But don't rush to take hits. I say that quite a lot, that a lot of people will take a hit, and if it doesn't work out, the first thing they look at doing is taking another hit. It's almost like a drug. Just try and relax, really. Do you need to take a hit? Probably not. Yeah, Jamie Vardy. Look, the thing, I think I'd be very surprised if I have Vardy for this whole run of fixtures, because he's seriously etched in my mind that he is the way I put more money into other positions. But I've got like in those cartoons where they have like the devil and the angel on the shoulders. I've got like that. On the one hand, it's telling me you made a mistake with Vardy, just rectify it now. The other hand is telling me don't knee jerk. You got him in for a reason. Perhaps just a little bit unlucky that Trent suddenly lost his place. You could say he didn't suddenly lose it. He obviously lost it against Man City. But yeah, a lot of people thought he was going to get back. It doesn't matter now. That's happened. So I'm tempted to keep Vardy. So for my particular team, the reason I don't want to get rid of him this week is because it'll probably be for Arnautovic. And obviously, Arnautovic plays against Vardy, but he's away. So I'd rather have Vardy for that. Obviously, we already got Salah. So the guy that I really want is Robertson. Obviously, the title of the stream is Best Premium Defenders. Premium Defenders back. A lot of people looking at Mendy. They're keeping Alonso, getting Robertson as well. The arm defensive talent is well and truly there. No, it's not. Robertson in is not the only way. Sorry, Vardy downgrade is not the only way to do it. It's my preferred way of doing it. There's not many other players I want to get rid of. Richarlison possibly, but I'm not sure who I downgrade him to. If Vardy's out, I'm going to take a hit 100%. Mitrovic or Arnautovic are coming in. Alexander-Arnold will just go to Robertson and he will be set and forget them for me. So if Vardy's out, I will take a hit. I've already decided on that, but I'm not sure he's going to be, to be honest. Now, if Puel says he's a doubt in any way, then I may still just do it as an excuse. Yeah, I could do Alonso to Robertson, but then I'm still stuck with Alexander-Arnold. So then I'm definitely playing Bennett, which might not be the worst idea. But I'm also... I may be going to... If I can get the team sheet before... Even if it's 30 seconds before the deadline, I may do Trent to Lovren and just hope that he can in some way keep up with Robertson. But I know, realistically, I'm just patching up that defence, knowing I really want Robertson. If I keep Vardy, it's... Even if I downgrade to Arnautovic, I can only have one of Robertson... I can only have 2 of Robertson, Mendy and Alonso. And if you haven't already, there's 5 polls up, including one on Premium Defenders. I realise there's other Premium Defenders, the likes of Trippier obviously doing really well, like I said earlier. But the best Premium Defender combo, because a lot of people are looking at 2, revolves around Alonso, Robertson and Mendy. And then I got your Game Week 10 captain, best cheap Liverpool defender, Mane or Firmino. So a lot of questions revolved around Liverpool this week for obvious reasons. Are you thinking of getting Kevin De Bruyne? Oh, actually, do you know what? I actually saw the end of that press conference on Premier League Today earlier. Yeah, my bad. Jack, do you really not think that Vardy will start, or are you just looking for a reason to sell? Also, I'm not 100% that I would go straight to Arnautovic, even though his fixtures are really good, like right up until Christmas. I'd actually be a little bit tempted by Mitrovic again, I think. Because I tweeted out last week, Mitrovic and Robertson, that's the way I should have gone. Obviously missed out on the Cardiff game, he only got an assist. But then Bournemouth and Huddersfield and Southampton at home, then in the next 4. And then, okay, it gets a bit tricky then, Chelsea, Man United away in the 3. But the home games are okay. And then, again, up until Christmas time, his fixtures are okay. And with Carney back now, I'm just hoping that he might get a bit better. So I don't know if I would go straight to Arnautovic. But he's probably just about ahead. But I do like Mitrovic. I'd ideally like them both. But that's probably not going to happen for a little while. Arnautovic, obviously, if I get him in this week, it'd be Leicester away, Burnley at home, Huddersfield away. So pretty decent, but most of the good fixtures are away in the next kind of 5 fixtures, and the home game, one of them is Man City. So after that, it gets a bit better. So he is a good player for a long time, if he can stay fit. Yeah, Richarlison downgrade, but let me show you what I need to do. Alexander, you're out. So many yellow flags. I'm sure Hazard's going to be fine. If Hazard's not fit, then what do I do? I don't know. I don't know if I can afford. I'd probably get Mane in. Hazard to Mane, Alexander Arnold to thingy, but I'm not really too keen on getting rid of Hazard because I've made so much money on him. Yeah, 5.9 million midfielder. It's slim pickings. Do you know what I mean? And I think Schürrle's gone up in price now. Fraser's too expensive. I'm looking at Fernandinho, Decore. Not really players I want to put in my team. Knockout, his kind of bandwagon was over as soon as it began. Brooks, I quite like him, but fixtures are really tough for Bournemouth soon. Barkley, they're not very exciting. Josh Murphy, obviously he was my final differential for the Scoutcast, which is nice for him to get a goal. So potentially he could be, but I don't know. They got really nice fixtures, of course. Yeah, I'm just not sure about dropping Richarlison, to be honest. If he moves back to the wing, I think he'll still be really good. But it is here's where I got my eye on though, because his away fixtures are horrible, basically. Go for 4-3-3. Oh, now you're getting a bit too. It's getting a bit too maverick for me, I think. Yeah, Martial. We spoke about him a little bit on the last show. Something tells me he's a trap. I just don't know if he can keep scoring the amount of goals and the amount of chances he's getting. I saw people talking about it on Twitter, and some people. I wish I'd recalled the name, but he basically said, some players do outscore their XG, expected goals. It can happen, especially for top players. But he's outperforming his by a long way. It's probably not going to continue. So unless Man United suddenly create a few more chances for him, and you're confident he's going to keep his place, I don't think for his price it's the worst punt. Do you know what I mean? It's not like getting Lukaku in for like nearly 11 or Sanchez for 10 or whatever he is now. He's only 7.3. And Man United do have pretty good fixtures for the next 4. Decent enough. So I don't think it's the worst punt. I just think he's more likely to be a trap than a gem, to be honest. I love Martial though. I think he's such a good finisher. On his day. It's that cliche. Do you have a plan for De Bruyne and Mendy? So De Bruyne just doesn't feature in my plans just because it's really tricky for me to fit him in. Now, De Bruyne may come in after Salah's fixtures, the really good fixtures they got soon, basically after Fulham. I may start looking at downgrading Salah to afford an upgrade elsewhere. So to go for I haven't worked out the exact money. I won't do it on stream now, but like, you know, get a 9-ish, 2 9-ish million players maybe instead of like Salah and Richarlison. Because I think that's nearly 20 million for those two. So I may do that. The problem is, I think Liverpool's fixtures are pretty good again up until December. And so if he does perform for me against Cardiff and Fulham, then am I going to want to get rid before Watford, Everton and Burnley? Probably not. But he is basically my way to De Bruyne. So I may look at that. As for Mendy, do I have a plan? I got to be honest, it gets very tricky with... Let me show you, right? Because it gets tricky for me with the way... Basically, my team value. It makes it very hard for me to have 3 premium defenders. So let's say I got rid of Vardy, and let's say it ends up being for Arnautovic, who's not even in that list. And Trent goes because I don't think he's going to play, and I get Robertson instead. So I'm left with 1.2 in the bank. So even if I got rid of Doherty, who's my next biggest player, it's 5.8. Just can't afford to get him in. Now, obviously, I could take money out elsewhere, make more transfers and stuff. But not sure if I want to do that. So I'd probably just go for Laporte. But I'd imagine by the time I get around to doing this, he'll probably increase in price again because they're just keeping so many clean sheets. But he's absolutely nailed. So he's a tempter for sure. So the only way for me to do it really would be to get rid of Alonso. And I'm just not sure if I want to do that right now. You know, there's David Luiz, there's Rudiger. I don't know, maybe. I mean, the way they're playing right now, you know, you've got Gomez and Lovren instead of Robertson. You've got Rudiger and Luiz instead of Alonso, and you've got Laporte instead of Mendy. Arguably, the way Alonso is playing and the amount of chances and shots he's having and stuff like that, he should be the one that you downgrade. So, I could afford it with Rudiger or Luiz. So that might be a way to go. But do you know what I mean? It's a lot of transfers. So I don't know how much of a rush I am in to do that. But like that is an option. And actually 0.5 in the bank, so I could keep Doherty in that situation, which I really like the idea of doing. So yeah, that's a possibility, but yeah. It's going to take a few transfers. One of the reasons actually, just because I know a lot of people are thinking about taking a hit this week. I am still thinking of taking the hit because I'm not going to want to bring in Robertson next week. So if I save a transfer and he's got Arsenal away, I'm probably not going to want to bring him in. So I have to do something else. These fixtures are so good. And I know people are talking about a rest. I just don't see it. Moreno's just not good enough. So yes, this would be my preferred way of doing it, but not going to be able to afford this for much longer. Not having Alonso though, oh, that's such a killer. Or not a killer, but such a horrible thought. I'm not going to leave that on screen because otherwise I'll get asked why I'm making stupid transfers. Yeah, no, I definitely don't want to get rid of Doherty. Although if I have those 3 defenders, if I have Robertson and then Mendy or Alonso plus the cheaper one, then I wouldn't even need to play Doherty. But obviously I guess he's an option. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with Robertson. Long-term set and forget. I know. I want him. Right? I do want him. I may just have to get him. Getting Rudiger is just moving the risk from Trent. Yeah, but Rudiger's nailed, right? I mean, it's not like Trent, I don't think. Rudiger and Luiz are the centre-backs there, for sure. Would not be in doubt about him at all. I'm more annoyed now about the Trent move because he's lost value. I mean, what the hell, man? That is not on. Do. How's it going, Chris? What's the winning formation? 4-4-2. I mean, big at the back. He's probably been decent so far, yeah. Van Dijk, yeah, no. I mean, let's be honest. I want Robertson, Mendy, and Alonso, right? I don't want any of their cheaper counterparts. Is Rudiger better than going for Van Dijk or Lovren? I don't know if it is. I mean, the thing I like about Lovren, for example, is he's really good for bonus points if they get a clean sheet. Yeah, anyway, probably spoke about those too long, but look, I did put them in the title, premium defenders. What is my team value? Good question. I got no idea. Not as good as a lot of people's, that's for sure. 102.9. That's like, yeah, that's squad value. I don't know what selling value and stuff is. Can be different. There is no winning formation. We have to adapt. Yeah, that's probably fair. At the end of the day, everyone's going on, and including me, for the last 10 minutes about how important premium defenders are and how they're back, and I want to get them in. But I mean, I haven't had Robertson for the last few weeks, but obviously his fixtures get better now, so it's not like you always need them all season. There will be times when you can get away with it. I've not had Mendy either. But I feel like if I keep that up, I'll probably be punished. Not happy. You think you've done your ACL? Oof, that doesn't sound good at all. How about a free hit and double? Nah, a free hit I'm going to save till later on in the season. I don't think my team's in that bad a state where I need that. I mean, you know, I could go Trent to Lovren and be done with it. Does FPL affect your support for your club in real life? No, but I suppose, I mean, I do. I'm sure others do, whether they say or not. Like, sometimes you have FPL in mind. So, you know, if Man United are playing... When Man United are playing Chelsea, I thought, you know, it'd be great if Man United could win 5-2 and Hazard scores twice, or Alonso scores twice, or whatever. You have those unrealistic wants from the game. But no, like, I wouldn't want United to lose so that I could do better in FPL. Trent to Pereira, yeah, I think a Leicester defender could be good. You know, a lot of people looking at Ricardo Pereira because he's obviously playing on the wing or playing like wing back in the back three. I still really like Chilwell, and I do think that he's a bit more money, but Maguire is a bit of a punt. Gonna score from a few free kicks and corners for sure. Am I worried about the Vardy and Hazard outs? I'm not overly worried, but I do like the idea of using the yellow flag on Vardy as an excuse just to take a hit, to be honest. But I'm a bit worried because I took a hit last week, then I'm going to take a hit this week. I don't really want to keep taking hits, you know? Valuing Trent to Duffy? Nah, don't think so. I don't want double Brighton, I don't think. I mean, potentially, yeah. I mean, I've got Ryan. I'm happy with that. So maybe if you needed a cheap defender, Duffy could be your man. But yeah, not sure. Do I follow FPL tips on YouTube? I do. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Chilwell's got that much goal threat necessarily, but assist potential, I think it's there, especially with the fixtures they got. He didn't even score anyway. It was own goal. I always get these questions. I knew it was coming. Would you rather United won the treble or you won first? I mean, we've already seen them win the treble, you know. I've never seen myself win FPL. Probably win FPL, I'm telling you. Am I getting Red Dead 2? So, I always want to talk about video games. I really need to do video game streams as well. I don't want to bore everyone. So, shorter answer is yes, probably, but not tomorrow. We can talk about it at the end of the stream if you want. Don't forget, hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream. Always appreciate it every time you do that. And vote on the polls if you haven't already. There's 5 of them. I'd be much appreciated if you could vote on them. Would I recommend Mitrovic this week? Yeah, I think there's goals in that game. I think he's decent. You're still chasing after the K move. Yeah, look, said that the K move didn't hugely punish me, but didn't really work out either. And if I hadn't made those moves, I'd have had extra transfers, and I would still have Salah in my team for now. And yeah, it was a mistake at the end of the day. So yeah, maybe you could take some lessons from that. Am I from Bristol? No, but I'm from nearby. How do you know that? Why did you still have Doherty? Well, I mean, up until last week, he was getting double figures every game, so... And now he's got Brighton away. Mane, a good captain choice. Yeah, I think he is, if you've not got Salah. I think it's really important that he's back now. Firmino obviously got his goal as well. That's going to give him some confidence too. I'm sure that all 3 of them are going to start against Cardiff. So yeah, I think all 3 of them could be potential captain options. Never thought I'd watch someone talk about FPL. Yeah, you and me both. Never thought I'd be sat here talking about FPL. Salah on pens, yeah, we hadn't talked about that, but I mean, Milner's not on the pitch. That is huge. Yeah, no, really like that. How long am I holding Jimenez for? Jimenez for the foreseeable, I would say. They don't really have, I don't think, another option up front to play. He's getting a lot of chances, but he's just not putting them away. So I'm, yeah, he's not putting them away. I mean, I wouldn't say he's done nothing. Let's just recap exactly what he's done since I've had him in. He's got, in 5 games, he's got 1 goal and 3 assists. So 4 attacking returns in 5 games. Yes, it's not mega scores, but he's only 5.5 million, or he was. Now he's 5.7. So I'm keeping him, but like I keep saying, I wish he would score a couple of goals. He's more likely to get in the bonus then. Obviously, he's struggling for bonus when he's just getting an assist. Brighton away, you know, that's a fair enough game. I've got to play him against Ryan. That's just one of those things. After Spurs and Arsenal, it's Huddersfield and Cardiff, so decent fixtures there. But granted, I'm not expecting too much against Spurs and Arsenal. But do you know what I mean? At his price point, with the money I've got, there's not much I can do about it. I can't really upgrade him. And I think around that price, he's still the one I want. Mane or Hazard, who's the better captain choice? Oh, now that's a real tough one. Let's disregard Hazard's yellow flag and just say they're both going to play. Oh, that's really tough. You know, I mean, if I've got a captain Hazard this week, I'm thinking, is Burnley's defence going to turn it around? Is Hart going to have one of those games where he just makes saves left, right and centre, like he did against Wolves when they played him? But Mane has got Cardiff at home, and I can't help but think Liverpool are just going to smash him at Anfield. But Hazard's been in such good form. That's a really tough one. I'd probably slightly edge it towards Mane, but Hazard having penalties is a big win too. Yeah, slightly Mane possibly, but it's very close. David Silva is essential to all FPL managers. I hope he doesn't play this week, just so cannot be punished anymore for selling him. A fellow Westerner. Ah, okay. Now see, that's where I'm from. Win FPL or 20k in cash. Oof. Could you turn winning FPL into 20k? How long could you milk winning FPL for? Quite a while. Could you make about 20k from winning FPL? Maybe, but obviously you'd have the 20k cash straight away. That's a tough one. Do a lot with 20k. I might actually still take the FPL win. Am I getting fed up of 65 minutes for Aguero? Do you know what? Of course, I would rather he played more, but can't get fed up with points. When am I going to consider Aguero replacements? When he maybe starts getting rotated and or gets injured. You can only milk win FPL to other FPL geeks. Yeah, but there's like, hang on, there's 5.7 million FPL geeks out there, so job done. Jason Brown with £10. Thank you very much, my man. Love the content. Keep up the top work. Pretty please, can you do a wildcard team? Oh, no. You've donated and everything, so I kind of have to do it now. What have I said about the Scoutcast? Look, I tweeted about it. Basically, I just wanted a bit of extra time in the evenings to kind of do my own thing. There's no bad feelings. I wasn't dropped. There's no arguments or anything. Literally just said, hey, we'd like some time back. Step down. If you can find someone straight away, great. If not, I'll keep doing it. They had Luke straight away. Luke went on. Job done. If Luke can't make it any times, they'll maybe call on me, and I'll be more than happy to go back on. So there you go. Okay, a wildcard team. Oh, this is tough. So as I always say, I don't like doing wildcard teams when I'm not thinking about wildcarding, because I've given it no thought, right? Given it next to no thought. So that makes it tough. Would I still keep Ryan? Possibly. I would keep Aguero. I would keep Hazard. I would keep Salah. I think I'd keep Maddison. I would get rid of Ward. I would get rid of Vardy. It's tough because my team value is a bit lower than most. Thanks for clearing that up again. Yeah, I'm not going to keep saying why I stopped doing the Scoutcast, because it would just get a bit boring to keep hearing it. But yeah. Yeah, I still like. I was actually editing a video at the time they were on the other day. That's why I was watching it. Anyway, look, defenders is pretty easy, right? Robertson comes straight in, as Fozzie says. Mendy. Let's just do Mendy and Alonso for now and see what I can fit in, right? And I think I would go on Arnautovic, but Mitrovic is still definitely in my thinking. There you go, 4 million spent, job done. Would I really go too much off this team? I don't know if I would. Why use my wildcard so long ago? I don't even need it now. Dale Stevens 4.4. Is there no 4.3 midfielders? Let's have a look. Who are playing? Romeu, but he's... Oh, wow. The Romeu bandwagon didn't last very long, did it? Did he get injured? Maybe he did. Play 4-3-3. I don't think I would, to be honest. Do you know what? Actually, if I was wildcard, I would potentially look at this. I think I would go Leno, set and forget. I think he's going to keep his place. Fixtures not amazing for Arsenal, but obviously you're wildcarding, so you've got to think longer term. So the only worry is, how long is Czech even out for? Oh, he's fit now, is he? Okay, maybe he's fit again. I think Leno keeps his place, right? Fixtures not amazing, granted. But you're probably not going to wildcard for a long time, right? So these fixtures are real good. So if he's still got his place, I think this clean sheet say he made a few saves as well. I think I would top 6 keeper for 4.8. It just feels too good to be true. So I honestly would probably do something like this. I really wouldn't change my team that much. Richarlison is an iffy one, I think. Like as an owner, I don't want to get rid of him. If I was wildcarding, I would maybe think of better ways to use the money. But I look at the next 3 home fixtures or 4 home fixtures. So in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 fixtures, they got Watford, Cardiff, Brighton, and Newcastle at home. I think that's decent enough, but very tricky away games, and then Man City and Spurs after that. But that's a long way away at this point. So he hasn't really done too much. But the things to consider is I've still got no De Bruyne, I've not got Sterling, not got Mane. I think I would definitely have to keep Salah because he would be my captain for the next two out of 3. Does Jimenez still make it? I mean, he does in my team because I've not got enough money to upgrade him. I mean, I'm probably doing... Am I really doing Alonso out? Let's just say we go for Rudiger. I mean, something like that. Which is really not too far away from my current team. Now, Bennett and Wan-Bissaka, I'm never going to get over that van. Wan-Bissaka are still in there because they're cheap, right? I don't really need to get rid of them. So yeah, I probably something like that. But I feel like if I was actually wildcarding, I'd maybe mix it up a bit more. I mean, if I could have a quick look at fixture swings, for example. I mean, hopefully you've got a team similar to this already. You don't need to wildcard. You can just keep it a bit longer. Let's have a look at fixture. So Newcastle, I mean, you could maybe look at someone like Kennedy or a cheap Newcastle defender. Again, people are mentioning Ricardo in the chat for Leicester. Is an option if you don't want the 3 premiums. West Ham, you could go Fabianski instead of Leno. If I'm looking purely at fixtures over the coming weeks, but yeah, I don't know if I'd change too much from my current team. I know that's a bit boring, but it is what it is. Hopefully that helped in some way. Richarlison was a trap. Yeah, but who are you getting rid of Richarlison for? Let's have a look. Martial, maybe? But yeah, I could. You could spend a bit of money and get thingy Murphy instead of Stevens. I mean, let's have a look at sevens. Already got Madison. Lucas Moura, no good. So Richarlison's the one we've got. Again, it's probably not best looking at the total points, but a punt on Felipe Anderson. I don't think so. Who's that shout in the chat? Sigurdsson instead of Richarlison. I'd probably just stick for Richarlison, to be honest. I don't know. I know people in the chat will think differently, but look, something like I wouldn't change that much. I mean, that's horrible. I don't. Yeah. Sigurdsson, Shaqiri, just not players I'd really have my eye on. I don't think Shaqiri possibly if he keeps his place, but you got to think once all the midfielders and stuff are back, he's going to be a risk again. See you later, Rasmus. Put the chat back on this screen. Fernandinho is outscoring Richarlison. Yeah, I know, but Fernandinho is an interesting one because he came up last year. I think he was a bit cheaper last year, and he will tick over with the odd assist and goal here or there. But I'd probably back Richarlison with the good amount of home fixtures he's got. Obviously, Fernandinho is in a better team. Yeah, I think I'd rather have Richarlison, to be honest. Yeah, Schürrle's a potential option. Yeah, fair enough. I've forgotten about him. Could have Schürrle, save 7 million. I'd have another million to upgrade. In fact, that would get me Alonso. See, that's the kind of thing on wildcard. Not really looking at getting rid of Richarlison, but on wildcard, would I think about doing this? I would give it a lot of thought, put it that way. I think Fulham's fixtures are okay. That's why I was considering maybe Mitrovic instead of Arnautovic. So yeah, Schürrle in the chat from... Oh, I've lost it now. Simeon. That's a nice shout. I'd forgotten about him. See you later, YOLO. You just wanted to hear about Ings. What do you want to hear about him? He's not very good at football. Where's that, Southampton? Yeah, I mean, Ings has been unlucky in recent weeks, especially against Chelsea. Had a good few chances. If I had Ings, unless you got money to upgrade to the likes of Mitrovic or Arnautovic, I'd probably just keep him. Newcastle at home, Watford at home, and Fulham away. Fulham away is obviously the holy grail. It gets a bit trickier after that, so I'd maybe look at an exit plan then. But I don't think there's a massive rush to get rid of him, unless you got good money to upgrade, basically. By the way, something non-FPL related. I'm thinking about doing Movember. Proper clean shave job. Seeing how much money I can raise for Movember. I haven't clean shaved since I last did Movember, which is probably 3 or 4 years ago. So yeah. Not sure about that. Mr. Sausage. How's it going? I don't know why that made me laugh so much. Thanks very much for that. Jason, again, thanks very much for your donation as well. Apologies, that was a bit of a boring wildcard team. Good luck if you are wildcarding this week. Yeah, so I've been thinking about doing Movember for a while, actually. I was going to see if I could get other people involved. Unfortunately, I forgot to ask anyone, so it's probably a bit late now. Wanted to get some other FPL community people to get their beards off, maybe. See if he wants to do it. The only problem is, I don't know how much of a mustache I can grow in a month. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, we will see if I shave it all off. And I kind of realise now I've mentioned that I'm thinking about it, I kind of have to do it now. Otherwise I just look like an idiot. I will look like an idiot, for sure. I've not seen myself clean shaved, like I said, in like 3 or 4 years, so... I'm sure there'll be lots of Mickey taken. If you think I look bad now, just wait until you see me with no beard. Ianacho for Vardy. I don't know if that's worth a straight swap, but I do think you're onto something with Ianacho. In fact, there you go. If you've got Ings, there's a potential punt for you. Do you have the kahuna to do that too? I mean, I obviously can't check your whole team what it is now, but think, I guess, carefully about how much different it is to your current team, because chances are you probably got a decent enough one. Dye the moustache paint? Nah. Moustache only. Yeah, so I was reading, and they kind of... I thought about shaving it on stream, but that just seems like it would be a pain in the ass. Yeah, moustache only, no big. So when you actually read it, it says no shave Movember. It doesn't say anything about a moustache, actually. It just says don't shave. But obviously, I do that anyway. Don't shave most of the time. So yeah, I have to be moustache. The last time I did it, I clean shaved completely. And then I kept shaving apart from the moustache. So I kept shaving all month. All month. Anyway, I'm probably going to do that. If I have like a sponsorship link and stuff, I'll let you guys know. I won't bang on about it too much. I know it'll annoy people. But yeah. Thoughts on Aubameyang? Kind of already talked about him. I think he's too expensive for someone you're not guaranteed to play, is the short version. Arnautovic or King? Arnautovic for me, I think. King, I think Bournemouth look really good this week. So if you've got King, keep him. I wouldn't transfer him, but Bournemouth fixtures are really about to get tougher. Am I still active on my FPL Instagram account? I'm not. I know I should be. That's all I have to say, really. I should be, and I'm not. Gillette or Wilkinson Sword? I don't know. Which one of them wants to sponsor the stream? Probably Gillette. Joe, the longer I stream, the more I think I'm going to do the Vardy move. Not going to do it tonight. I'm going to think on it, but yeah, I might get rid of him. Yeah, just answer that, Harry, about Instagram. Lacazette, yeah, I think he looks decent. Still a decent option. Again, I would have a look at Arsenal's fixtures though, and see what you think about them, because again, they get a little bit worse than they have been. So I'd expect them to not keep up the current goal scoring, but they're still going to do really well. Those Snapchat vids, yeah, I quite liked the quick streams. Yeah, we'll see. Do the Vardy move like going to the toilet? Well, maybe after the stream, yeah. If I had no Liverpool attackers, who would I captain this week? Hazard straight away. You have 2 free transfers. How do you use them? I mean, that's an impossible question. I don't know your team. So yeah. Okay, let me see if there's any questions we haven't already answered. Yeah, people are talking about Iheanacho. I think he got when I was watching the Arsenal game, he looked like he got himself into a good few positions and had a couple of chances. Didn't really pay off for him. I mean, Leicester didn't get a whole lot, to be fair, from open play. Yeah, I think 5.9 million, you can't really go too wrong. At that kind of price range, you're looking at him, Jimenez or Ings. So it's slim pickings, and with Jimenez's fixtures about to get tough for a couple of games, probably wouldn't necessarily bring him in right now. So yeah, Leicester's fixtures are really good. He started like 4 or 5 in a row now. So I think he's a decent option for sure. Again, at that price range, I don't know how much I'd realistically be expecting from him. But yeah, not a bad option. He doesn't like jump out at me as, oh, he's really exciting, I've got to get him in, he's going to be this great punt for 5.9 million, but I think he could tick over enough. Do I consider doubling up on Liverpool attackers? I mean, I would consider it if I had a quicker and easier way to do it, but again, it's a bit like some other transfers I consider. I'd have to get rid of Hazard basically to get Mane or Vardy to Firmino, and just don't think I'm going to do either of those. Who would you play? Which 2 would you play out of Doherty, Richarlison, and Mendy? That's a tricky one. I'd almost play the 2 defenders, but I hate benching attackers. So if I stick with my I hate benching attackers, I would play Richarlison, and I just don't think you can bench Mendy. So I'd probably have to bench Doherty, and I don't like that either, but I think that's the way I'd have to go. Yeah, look, I think Liverpool, basically what you're talking about, double up or on attack or defence. I think, yes, the overall point is triple Liverpool at the moment looks really good. Whichever way you want to do it. I would say defence is probably slightly better than attack because, there's other options at kind of Mane's kind of price, and Firmino, again, there's probably better ways you can spend that money up front. So I think defence maybe like Lovren and Robertson or Van Dijk and Robertson if you can afford that. Seems a bit expensive to me. I'd probably just get Lovren, but yeah. You trust my intelligence more than yours. Wilson to Iheanacho after this week. Well, let's see how he gets on. Watch the Leicester game and see what you think of him. Don't bring him in if you don't think he's going to do well. Richarlison has not scored yet against last year's top 6. Interesting. I mean, I think just because of the fixture, Richarlison is my go-to to say bench, but I just don't like benching attackers. Never like doing that. Is Trippier going to get benched? Look, I've talked about Trippier getting rotated or getting the odd rest here or there for Aurier, and he started the last 8 games in the Premier League, so I've given up trying to predict or think about when that will happen. I've got rid of him, and I kind of regret it because he's ticked over so nicely for me. That could really be a big mistake. I know, obviously, people looking at Robertson and Alonso and Mendy. Seriously, Trippier's been so good. Why do you keep ignoring questions about Shaqiri? Everyone get him in. I mean, I answered a question about Shaqiri not that long ago. Short answer is nah, not for me. Jimenez or Ings, you know what? If I was bringing one of them in right now, I'd probably go Ings because of the fixtures. Don't expect much from Spurs and Arsenal for Wolves. Am I getting rid of Vardy? Not current, no, but I feel like with Friday and then a bit of Saturday to consider it, I feel like I could talk myself into it. If Vardy is out, would you bench Maddison? No, I wouldn't bench Maddison this week. No. With or without Vardy. Alright, we're going to do the polls in a couple of minutes. If you haven't already, click on the little eye at the top and vote on them. We'd much appreciate it. If you haven't already as well, make sure you hit that like button. That is always appreciated. And subscribe as well, actually, if you're new around here. Let's not forget to plug that as well. Just checking the polls now. Yeah, go vote on them now. We'll do them in a couple of minutes. Let's talk FPL Christmas party. I mean, that would be like a one-man party. Actually, I'm going away this Christmas. I actually haven't checked the fixtures yet. Let's have a look now. See when I'm around. So, yeah, so I can do a stream before Game Week 18. And then how many Game Weeks are there when I'm away? So there's 18, 19... Okay, 20's on the 29th. So I'd only miss maybe 2 Game Weeks. Yeah, I'm only going to miss 2 game... Actually, I'm only going to miss 1... So if I'm just checking... Sorry, I know I'm doing this on stream. I can stream before Game Week 18. I won't be able to stream before the Boxing Day one because it's over Christmas. So that finishes on Sunday. So basically that would mean streaming on the 24th or the 25th, which is not going to happen. I would be shot by the family. Yeah, so potentially only going to miss 1 week. I was tempted to buy a laptop, maybe do something over Christmas, but if I'm only going to miss 1 week, I might just take the break, to be honest, and just not do anything for a week. I'm sure you'll all understand. Because the only thing I could probably do is do a video on the 23rd, just recapping. So maybe I can try and do that. I might be able to stream off my phone. Anyway, there you go. Thinking ahead. I don't even know how I come onto that. I think I was just talking rubbish. All polls 100%. They shouldn't be. Anyway, let's do them now. Apologies, I'm just off talking rubbish. Yeah, I'm thinking about just having a week off. Not trying to worry about it too much. I don't know. I can maybe do a short stream on the phone or something. I don't like missing weeks though. You know, last year I don't think I missed a week, even when I had all that internet trouble and stuff. So I don't like missing it. Disappoint 5 people or 500 over Christmas. Yeah, fair point. Yeah, no, I'd be tempted to if I could, but the thing is, I don't have a laptop to do it. So I'd have to buy a laptop. I'm thinking about getting a laptop anyway. I kind of need one. It would just make my life easier for FPL stuff. Because it means I could do things when I'm not on the computer. But again, this is a really boring conversation you really don't care about. Pep can even rotate Andy. There you go. I'm rotating out for a week over Christmas. Eating turkey, drinking beer. Okay. Polls. Poll time. So, your Game Week 10 captain's got to be Salah. Salah / Liverpool attacker, 77%. Massively the way forward. 15% for Hazard, second best. Like I said earlier, he's the one I would captain if I didn't have Salah. 2% on Man City attacker, 1% on Lacazette, and 3% on someone else. Best cheap Liverpool defender, Gomez at 40%, sorry, and Lovren at 38%, and still 21% of people saying Trent. I know there's still some doubts about exactly who's nailed, if any of them. I mean, they might all not be nailed at this point. I actually think I'd go for Lovren out of those 3, but the winner was Gomez. Mane or Firmino, it's got to be Mane. Yeah, 68%, 31% for Firmino. If anything, it's just easier, I think, to fit Mane in. There's still a good few forward options, and it's not like there's no midfield options, but there's just more slots. Best premium defender combo. I think Robertson Mendy will win this, but not by much. Oh, wow. Okay, so Robertson and Mendy are 72%, the best combo. So the combos were 2 of Robertson, Mendy and Alonso. So Robertson and Mendy, 72%. Robertson and Alonso, 21%. So basically, Robertson is the key man. And then Mendy and Alonso, only 6%. And then are you thinking of getting Kevin De Bruyne? Yes, 53% in the next couple of weeks. 39% of you got no plans to get him. And 6% are apparently getting him this week against Spurs away. So there you go. There are the polls. There was a lot of Liverpool polls, I know. Look, I do what comes in on the tweets. Have a look through them. Obviously, Liverpool got good fixtures. People looking at bringing their players back in. Make sure you ask that question again if Alonso does well. Yeah, no, I know it can get like that. Can't you do a Twitter live stream and see questions on the phone at the same time? Yeah, I can. And look, I may do something, but I'm just not going to promise anything because I hate saying I will do something and then I can't do it. At the end of the day, I like to do it before the matches are finished, or after the matches are finished, which is 4 o'clock on the Sunday, the 23rd. So I'd have to make a video or a stream that night because I just don't want to be doing it on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, let's be honest. Or I could do it on the Saturday because there's only Everton and Spurs left. So look, I may do it. That's all I'm saying. I may do it. I'll worry about it in a couple of months' time and see where we're at. Should one get Salah for Mane? I think I don't know if I'd make that move, to be honest. I know it's tough because Salah's on penalties, probably the better option. But if you've already got Mane, I'm tempted to just keep him. What do I think is Sterling? Look, I think he's not going to get rested that often. I'll be surprised if he's not back this week. Man City got good options. I do think the midfield is different this year, obviously, because De Bruyne is a lot cheaper than him. So I'd be tempted to maybe look at him instead. But I just, no doubts that Sterling will keep up scoring and assisting when he plays. Who's the best 4.5 million defender from Newcastle, Brighton and West Ham? Interesting question. Let's do that because we never do more niche questions like that. Obviously, they've all got good fixtures coming up. I just need to check the prices. That's why I've not answered yet. Yeah, so picking one from each team. You've got Duffy, 4.5. I think is Brighton's best option if we're talking defenders, not goalkeepers. And Newcastle, probably Yedlin at the same price. And then at West Ham, I'd probably go for Diop, I think, for only 4.3. Now, who's the best one? I think I'd put Newcastle last. I don't know. There's something about Newcastle. They've got really good fixtures, and obviously Rafa's a really good manager, and I'm sure he'll be fine at Newcastle this year. I don't think they're going to get relegated or anything. I know there just always seems to be something going on off the pitch as well. So I think it's between Diop and Duffy. And Duffy, we said it a lot last year, and he never scored. He's already done it, I think, once or twice this year. So Duffy for goal for it, but Diop's 4.3 million. I really think West Ham defence will do well with Fabianski in goal. So it's I can't believe it's so tough to pick between Duffy and Diop. I'd probably go Diop. I think. You could use your phone to a live video. Yeah, I know. There's loads of options I could do. The reason that I would like to take a laptop is because actually I probably wouldn't do a stream. I'd probably just do a video. Record a quick video and then get that out. Why does it say you're Irish on the FPL team? I mean, it asks you where you're located. I'm located in Ireland. Yeah, I like Duffy. I think Duffy and Diop both good options. I think I would just go for Diop, just about. I would avoid Newcastle, I think, even though they got good fixtures. Mane or Sterling, just because of the fixtures. I think I'd go Mane right now. Diop, really over Duffy scoring goal. I mean, yeah, but how many goals is Duffy definitely going to score? Yeah, I think it's close. I think Diop's going to get clean sheets. Don't know if he's got much goal for it, to be honest. What laptop? Not sure. One that I can stream on, basically. So I probably need like a gaming laptop of some kind. I haven't really looked into it too much. I don't know. I'm just a bit worried that I'm going to buy it and then not actually use it. But I just think if I could create some of the stuff for the videos when I'm not at my desk and I could just do it earlier in the day, that would really save me some time. Anyway, laptop talk, so boring. Look, we'll call the stream there, I think, for FPL point of view. If you want to talk about anything else, I know people are asking me about Red Dead Redemption. Happy to talk about that. I think we talked about FPL for like a good hour. Loads of questions come in. I think the questions are probably repeating a little bit now. So we'll leave the FPL stuff there. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. Any other questions we got for the next couple of minutes? Get them in now. Red Dead Redemption. So I kind of said earlier I'm going to play it. But I don't know if I'm going to get it right now. Reason being, obviously, Call of Duty and stuff has just come out. So I'm kind of quite into that. My mates are playing as well, which makes it even better to play. It's always nice to play with people you know. So I know that I won't give Red Dead my full time. And given the type of game it is and how I'm really bad for story games. If I stop playing, I have to restart because I don't know, I just can't get back into it, or I forget what's happened. I just know I'm not going to play it, so might be good to ask for a Christmas present or something, or unless there's really good deals over like Black Friday or something, because I'm kind of interested in getting a PS4 Pro as well. But yeah. What weapon am I using the most in Blackout 4? I'm kind of playing Blackout and I've still not really worked out 100% what the best weapons are. There's the one that looks like the AK-47 and the one that looks like the Scar, which I think are the... I can't remember what they're called. But those two, basically. Do I watch Doctor Who? No. How do you have the time to play FPL and do games and stream? I mean, the time to play FPL doesn't really have to take up too much time, right? You just make your transfer and job done. I mean, I stream in the evenings. I don't stream usually till 9:30, till 10:30. And if I'm playing games, it's probably from 10:30 to like 11:30 or midnight. So I'm staying up quite late, and I'm back up at 6:30. So I don't play games every day, but yeah. I feel it's more about the world than the story in Red Dead. I don't think that's necessarily a huge issue. Notice you've monetized fairly recently. Is the channel finally paying off? I mean, I still can't do it full time, but no, I've always monetized the channel though, I think, or pretty much always. So I've not really changed anything there, I don't think. Got another sponsor lined up soon, which is cool. You'll find out about them soon enough. Just get a Switch? Nah. Any news on the PS5? Nope. Not that I know of. Any good Black Friday deals floating early? No, I've not seen any. I've not really looked, to be honest. Keep it FPL. No, I kind of already said we stopped the FPL part. We talked for like a good hour on FPL. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the guest appearance too. But look, Luke's great. Everyone loves Luke. He's a bit more maverick than me. He's going to have probably more interesting choices to a lot of people. So you're in good hands on the Scoutcast. Has playing FPL reduced your interest in PS4 games? If anything, no. It's done the opposite. Like, sometimes it gets to the point where I'm doing FPL and I just wish I was playing games instead. But obviously I want to keep the videos up because I enjoy it when I do them. And obviously I want to be consistent with the channel and stuff. So not really. Like, obviously trying to fit both in is tough. I can't do it all the time. I can't play games whenever I want to. So yeah, not FPL. So I'm really weird with FPL. I know people think because I stream, like I'm really really into it, and obviously I am. I do think about it a lot and read stuff, but I'm not listening to every single podcast going like a lot of people do, watching every single video, reading every single article. That would drive me insane, to be honest. I try and read as much as I can in a week, but I don't like read everything because it's impossible now. There's so much content out there. So like obviously I play FPL a lot, so you could call it addiction, obsessed, or whatever. But it's probably not on my mind. It's stupid. Like, it's probably not on my mind as much as it was, or it doesn't play on my mind as much as it used to, even though I do more stuff to do with it now. Does that make any sense? Not sure it does. I watch a lot of YouTube channels. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do watch stuff. I do listen to stuff. I do read stuff. I just don't maybe do as much as other people necessarily. Find myself thinking about FPL lots of time each day. Yeah, I do sometimes as well. David, thanks very much for the £2 towards the laptop. I'll put it towards that. Thank you. A lot of the community appearing on the FPL show. Have you been invited? No, I haven't. YouTube is better than TV. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I tend to prefer watching YouTube and stuff rather than TV these days. I think you know, if you've ever watched Ricky Gervais and stuff do interviews, he always says like, do what you know or whatever. And I like streaming. I like watching streams. I've said before, this stream started from me wanting to do gaming stream, but just didn't have the setup for it, so I did FPL instead, and it's kind of built from there. So I kind of do it because I like it. I like watching YouTube, so I do YouTube. I like watching streams, so I do streams. You know, not the best at it or whatever. Can only try and improve, but you know, I think from what I started at, it's got much better. It could get much more better, of course. Much more better sounds awful. Do I listen to True Geordie? I do, yes. I mean, he's someone that's improved massively since he started. Favorite non-FPL related channel? I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, I watch most of True Geordie stuff. I quite like Spencer FC actually. I think I just like what he does with all his football stuff. Very clued on. Hashtag United and that. Dell XPS 15. That sounds expensive. Creators are more flexible than TV execs. Yeah, and obviously you can just do something real quick. You can just boom, do a video. No problems. FPL TV is great, to be honest. I think FPL TV and FPL Tips, like their editing and their production values and creativity is awesome. I just can't do that. They are so much better than me at that. FPL Dare's great as well, yeah. Bringing a much more interesting stance to FPL. Do I watch the United stand? No, I don't usually watch the Man United YouTubers that much. Statman Dave, maybe. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for all the questions. Thanks very much for tuning in. Thanks very much for watching the videos. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. All of that good stuff. Good luck in Game Week 10. Just trying to remember where we were going in. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I will catch you next time. There's a